And who's been the toughest defender you've ever played against?
Um, I never really felt like I've been bullied or anything like that. But I think when I first went to the championship, I'd probably say Wes Morgan when I played against him, Forest away. Never really played against the physicality of someone like that, and obviously a really good defender as well. And obviously John Terry in the Prem. Like I remember coming on at Stamford Bridge, and I think he lifted me after literally about 30 seconds, and I was just on my ass, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is this is how it's going to be. And every time I touched the ball, I just remember just being absolutely harassed. So obviously for him, I'd probably say him as well for obviously the status that he has in the game, and the defender of his stature.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as fans, we don't get to see this side of the game. When you're playing, does any sort of players come to mind that like just give you verbal for 90 minutes and don't just stop like sort of talking to you and getting in your ear and almost threatening to break your legs? Does that ever happen, Alfie?
Yeah, it does happen. I remember we played Stevenage at home, Graham Wesley Stevenage for Rotherham. We played him at home, and I remember being in the tunnel. And bearing in mind back then they just had like doormen playing, so they were all massive, just monsters. And they were like, I could just remember them screaming, "We're gonna break you, we're gonna break you." I'm just thinking, yeah, they're coming for me here. Like obviously at that point in League Two was, scoring a lot of goals, and I just knew I was gonna get physically beat up this game. It was one of them games. I think they did batter us as well at home. I think they beat us at home. But yeah, I knew I was gonna get beat up. I knew I think it was Ashton and Roberts, the centre half. I knew every challenge they were around me, I was going to get smashed, and I didn't mind it. That's part and parcel of being an half decent football player is that you're going to get hurt sometimes because
Yeah.
if they can't stop you with their footballing ability, they're going to physically impose themselves on you, and sometimes that's a good weapon to use as a player. Sometimes you have to use your physicality and you have to deal with that. And it was a challenge for me because obviously being diminutive in size, that was the sort of a challenge I would have to come up with a lot of players. But I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoy the physical part of the game because I like to think I give as good as I get. And there's always little things I can get away with as well, being a smaller player because I can lean into him a little bit harder and throw my body into him a little bit more and get away with it because I am a smaller person.